have to get that money from the millionaires and billionaires and have got to pay their fair share. Then you do the other things. Come down from that. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much, Carol. Adelaide Smith. I've got a trivia question before Adelaide comes up. So here's your trivia question. What year in American history was the tax rate for millionaires and billionaires this low? When was the last time it was this low? 1928? I'm not saying I have the answer, I just want I just want to know.
Oh, it was when there was no taxes, before the income tax.
Yeah, but in Reagan's years, right, it was about 50%. President Reagan's years. I think in 1939 or something it was 90%.
Well, before
But now it's,
the Depression,
yeah.
tax rates.
Okay, Adelaide, it's you.
So I'm speaking because I haven't done this since the 60s. And I'm here not just because I'm upset with those new Republicans. I'm here because I'm upset with the Republicans, the Democrats, and President Obama. We have to change things and we cannot be afraid. And I want Obama to know that as much as I would vote for him again, I would rather have him lose the election and stand up for what the principles are, which is equality for everybody, and that is not what this compromise was. This compromise is a sellout, and that's why I am here in between working this morning and working this afternoon, because we can't go on like this. This was a crisis that was created because they couldn't agree. All they had to do was raise the debt ceiling, but no, they wouldn't do that and then have their fights. So I invite everyone, go educate yourself, whether you're Republican or Democrat or independent, get your facts straight and get on them, or you know what? When that new group, not of 6, but of 12 comes in, what they have set up, if those 12 people don't agree, we are really going down the tubes, and you better find out what I'm talking about. Thank you.
That's a very good point. We really do have to be educated. We have to be able to bust those lies and myths. We're being lied to daily. We've got soft media coverage with softball questions that nobody digs in to find out what's really true. So that's our responsibility. That's up to us to spread the truth and bust the lies. Bob Hatch is our next speaker.
Thank you. A. Philip Roundup said this in 1963, and I'm going to read it today, a little bit of an updated version. Any politician that favors cuts on Social Security, that favors cuts on Medicare, that favors cuts on housing, there you will find the enemy of working people. There you will find the enemy of poor people. And I think it's time that maybe, which is not talking in Congress, we should cut our military budget roughly by 75%. It is these wars that have come to home. It's coming home right now. They're all talking about this debt limit, but the war's still going on, not just in Afghanistan and Iraq and Pakistan. The war is definitely going on here. And we as a people have to say to Congress, enough's enough. We're here today to tell Congress straight up, we disapprove your budget cuts, hands off Social Security, hands off Medicare, and I'd like to see a big tax increase on the wealthy. And finally, we all have to stick together, because these are serious times. So, I hope you will. Thank you very much.
It's Mary Corcoran. I don't usually speak, actually. But I'm really so infuriated that nobody in this whole long debate has mentioned the war. Why do you think we're broke? Why do you think we don't have any money? It's because we're pouring billions of dollars into killing people all over the world.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I want to hear people start talking about that. That's where the money is going.
Right.
It's not us It's the war. And I want to hear Congress start talking about cutting the military budget and bringing the troops home.
Right.
And stopping endless war, because they've got a lot of them planned.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
All right, so first of all, I want to say that the reason why I'm here today is because every day when I sit reading the news and I listen to what's going on in this country, I think, why are people not in the streets, pissed off, rioting? You know, they talk about in Greece and Ireland and all these other countries, when they talk about, like, not even close to the kind of austerity that we're looking at. People are angry and they're rioting and they're in the streets. So I've been saying that and I've been thinking that, and so that's why I'm here today. And it's really good to see all of you here, just trying to make a point and trying to add to this discussion that's not really happening. So another thing I want to talk about is the way the dialogue around this whole debate is being framed, which is really quite odd to me. I heard earlier, I heard some railing against conservatives and what they're doing, which was spot on, by the way. But it's really kind of funny to me why we even call these people conservatives. Really, what it is, it's regressive. They're trying to take us back to a time when there was no social safety net, there were no protections for workers. The income gap was, I think, during the Industrial Revolution, when you had like no minimum wage, no worker safety protections. They're trying to take us back. The income gap is rising. So I asked you, like, what is more conservative than trying to preserve the social safety nets that we've had in place for, what is it, close to like 70, 80 years? You know, like, that is conservative, trying to conserve. And we call ourselves progressives, liberals, what have you. It seems to me like we're constantly fighting just to keep things the way they are, which is far from perfect. You know, like, there's no room for progressive politics in this debate in this country, which is, to me, is really bizarre. And I think the mainstream media is to blame for a lot of this, the way the lack of debate, you could say, and just the way things are being framed. It's very bizarre, but I'll say it again, it's really good to see all of you out here today. I'm proud to be here, adding my body to this mass, and I'd like to see it a lot bigger. But we're going to keep working, and you know, if things get bad, at least I believe that the worse they get, then maybe we can have some real change.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah. I think that we have allowed the debate to become bizarrely right-wing, ridiculously right-wing. And I do think that we are up against a very complacent, and that's a kind word, media. It's really hard for progressives to get coverage. I think we're supposed to put like a used coffee filter on our head or something, and then maybe we will get in the front pages, do something ridiculous and bizarre like that. But it's crazy. This is not a game. You know, this isn't entertainment. People's lives are going down the drain forever on a daily basis. And the media needs to wake up and start asking hard questions and start filming and writing up about our movement. Next speaker, and probably the second last, what was your name? And then Paul.
Good afternoon. My name is Joan Larison. I want to just leave you with one brief thought, if you can't hear me. I am sick and tired of the pundits and the politicians talking about shared sacrifice, because we know the sacrifices the working families of this country, and they probably don't feel any discomfort comfort whatsoever. I'd like to know what sacrifices they make as often as we get a weather report.
And the
And
military.
the last thing I want to say is, in the words of the late great columnist Molly Ivins, we need to get out in the streets and hang out our windows and bang our pots and pans.